personally, I've come to realize that I have an addictive personality. I don't do anything half-assed. If I like something, I like it. And unfortunately, I have a difficult time with moderation. Now, some of the things that I'm addicted to are actually good and benefit me, like working out and working hard to be successful. But there are other things that I have been addicted to that have had a negative impact on my life, like alcohol. I had a really bad relationship with alcohol for a very long time. Now, the truth is that I was using alcohol as sort of like a crutch in order to deal with some of the emotional issues that I needed to deal with. But I've also been addicted to people, like negative, toxic people that I've allowed to come into my life and stay for way too long. Nicotine. I used to dip chewing tobacco 2 cans a day for literally like 15 years. I was crazy addicted. But something else that I've had some issues with has been porn. Now, I technically don't consider myself to have like an addiction to the movies, but it was impacting my life in a negative way. And I knew that I needed to stop or change my behaviors in order to be happier, healthier, and have better relationships. And so I took the active steps to quit my consumption of the movies. And that's something that I want to actually talk and help you with today. Because it is almost November, which is historically like NoFap November, I know that a lot of you guys are about to embark on a journey of trying to quit the movies. And so today I thought I'd actually share with you some strategies that I used in order to stop consuming, but also share with you some things that are going to happen to you once you do that are amazing. The first step in helping you break the cycle of addiction or watching, guys, is identifying the triggers that you have. What are the things? What are the situations? What are the circumstances that make you think about going, watching, checking it out, and touching Big Al? So for a lot of people, it's sheer boredom, right? You're bored. You're like, yo, what am I gonna do? I'm kind of just not doing anything. I might as well go surf and look and see what exactly. You go, you look, and then boom, it's over. And then 5 minutes later, you're feeling guilty and beating yourself up. Guys, if you feel guilty about looking, chances are you shouldn't be looking. What are your triggers? Is it boredom? Is it Instagram? Is it going on surfing, YouTube videos? You're watching some spicy senoritas online, like whatever it is. What are your triggers? The second thing you need to do then is come up with a plan of action. And what I mean by this is if boredom is your trigger, you've got to not be bored. You've got to find an alternative action. So when you get the urge, when you think about going and looking, you're like, yo, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's watching an Alpha M YouTube video. Maybe it's doing some push-ups. Maybe it's calling a friend. Maybe it's going for a walk or petting your dog. It's about forming new habits, new healthy habits. And what you're going to find is that when you resist the urge to actually go and look, you're going to start to feel better about yourself. Not only did you avoid something you didn't want to do, you're now doing something that's going to make you better. Which brings us to the third thing and way that you're going to actually stop consuming, which is stop the access to watching. The app Blocker X is something that I've talked about before. They're also today's video sponsor, and they are a game changer in giving up the porn. So Blocker X is an incredible app that you can download to help you complete your NoFap journey. One of the problems with surrounding yourself with people that think like watching it is like no big deal is that nobody holds you accountable. And that's one of the things and the beautiful things about Blocker X. It's the community. The thing that sets Blocker X apart from other apps that are out there, guys, there are actually two things. Number one is the community. They've got over 100,000 dudes just like you that are on their journey to quit the addiction. It's all about the community, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals that are all striving for a similar objective. The other reason why Blocker X is better than other apps on the market is because unlike other apps, you can't just like get weak and then like quickly like uninstall it, do your thing, and then reinstall it, and not with Blocker X. If you want to uninstall the app, you need permission from your buddy. Think of your buddy as an accountability partner or like a spotter in the gym, right? They're there to help you. Your accountability partner or your buddy is there to help you beat the addiction. Blocker X blocks over 8 million adult sites. So even if you're going like all like income incognito, you think you're gonna outsmart Blocker X? Blocker X would be like, yo, Ryan, I see what you're doing. No, stay strong. And then check it out. You try to go to your favorite site and a little window pops up, says, hey, not for you. Do you need help? Do you need support? Guys, it's an incredible app. I'm gonna link to it down below. You can install Blocker X on your phone, Android, Apple, also your PC, iOS, not to mention Windows. Bottom line, if you are serious about breaking the addiction cycle and you wanna stop consuming it, guys, now is the time. There's a special link down below. If you go through that link, guys, you're gonna get 3 days for free. But what I would recommend, because this deal that they've got for you is so insane, it is a huge no-brainer. If you use the code ALPHAM2 at checkout, you're gonna get 40% off of a premium membership. That's 40% off. Guys, hit the link, get Blocker X, use the code ALPHAM2 to get 40% off a premium membership. And the last step in quitting any addiction is don't beat yourself up too much for messing up, right? Get back on the horse, as they say. Guys, you're gonna fail. It's not easy. You know, the amount of times that I tried to quit chewing tobacco was literally probably 30, but it was the last time. The time that I decided that I was worth it and that I wasn't going to make any more excuses. This is what really was the difference in allowing me to be able to finally stop and quit that addiction. Guys, the bottom line is this. If you are serious about stopping, you can. Is it easy? No. Is it possible? Yes. Now, gentlemen, what I want to do is go over some of the amazing byproducts to stopping the consumption or watching of the movies, all right? Now, I can only speak for my personal experience, but I have a feeling I'm not alone. Number one is your self-esteem is gonna go through the fucking roof. You feel so good about yourself because for so long you felt bad about doing what you were doing and watching what you were watching. You also don't have anything to feel guilty or bad about anymore. And that's one of the things that happened to me. Every time I would do it, right, before I do it, I wouldn't feel bad, but as soon as I was done and did my thing, right, I was like, God, damn, right? You feel bad about yourself. When you do this repeatedly, every day, every other day, every week, twice a day, however much you're doing it, it does a number on your self-esteem. You feel bad, like you can't stop, you can't quit. Gentlemen, when you do, next level, game over, you win. You know what else goes to the fucking roof? Your motivation for everything, not just going out and doing things and looking for girls, boys, whatever you're into, because that's one of the downsides to consuming. You lose your motivation. This is actually kind of like a substitute for the real thing. You're like, yo, I'm not gonna put an effort. I'm not gonna get dressed up. I don't wanna go out. I'm just gonna sit home, surf porn, do my thing, and grab a pizza. But when you stop watching, you're like, yo, I gotta get out there because I'm ready to do something. I want to actually go and meet people. And so that way you are crazy motivated to get out and actually be with your friends, go do things, meet spicy senoritas. The other thing that it does in terms of your motivation is gives you more purpose to achieve your goals, purpose to do the work, purpose to focus on things that matter. The third unbelievably amazing thing that happens when you stop watching is you have a better relationship with your significant other. At least for me, that's what happened, you know? And one of the things that I'm not proud to admit, when I was somebody that was consuming, you know, the movies, I was not as interested in going home and putting on the moves and doing my thing because I already did my thing and I was like, whatever. When you stop, all of a sudden, all this energy that you're putting here is focused to where it should be focused, and that is on your partner. Guys, the other thing that happens is it gets amazing. It gets so much better. Something else crazy, amazing that actually happens, you're gonna start finding more people more attractive. You know, we get a little bit like numb, right? When you watch a lot or when you're constantly being bombarded by super sassiness, right? When you don't have that, you start to appreciate beauty in a way that you never did before. The next amazing byproduct that happens that I noticed was I was happier. I was a happier person. You know, not that I was a negative, unhappy, sad person, but there's just something that changes. It's really hard to actually explain until you actually experience it, but it's amazing. When you actually stop watching the movies, you feel better about yourself. We already talked about self-esteem, but you're happier because you did something that you've been wanting to do, and you're finally not beating yourself up and off every day. And last but certainly not least is confidence. Your confidence will skyrocket. You know, I am not somebody that believes that touching it, right, solo action, is a bad thing. Not at all. I think that it's normal. I think it's natural. But if it's something that you need to stop doing in order to stop watching the movies, because I really feel like there are two different things, right? There are the movies. There's the consumption of the movies, which can be very detrimental to your happiness, to your health, your relationships. In terms of you doing your thing to your thing, I don't feel like that is something you need to be embarrassed or ashamed of. But I do realize that a lot of times they are connected and merged. And so if you are somebody that needs to stop touching it in order to stop the addiction to porn, then I am all for it. But the bottom line is this: there's nothing wrong with having a normal, happy, healthy sex life. For me, what I found was that when I watched the movies, it was having a negative effect on my life. And like I said, I've got an addictive personality. If you are somebody that wants to stop, I'm telling you, life gets better, you feel better about yourself, and everything, literally everything, gets more amazing. Good luck. I believe in you. You got this.